We've got first pitch. Mets, Astros, SNY. Swung on a miss, strike one. And Jerry, you mentioned Kodai Senga
game, and they talked about how his finger quite isn't strengthened up.
Hefner and Senga about the difference pitching-wise in Japan versus to hone in on two here in the States as he pumps that one in for
on mastering one or two.
Ground side, Escobar handles. High throw up for the Astros. Takes strike one. Sweeping slider. Why does that play well for someone with his pitches? The high
the hitters can pick it up. The way he releases it, the hitters can see him behind the ball. From the righties there, coming into a lefty, something where because to keep them out front.
Julks fouls that one out of play. The count even.
I think that's the biggest.
Julks grounds that one to third. That's
one inning so far this spring.
Just one inning so far this spring, and as you mentioned, any season was minor league, COVID.
This is a great opportunity for him to get seen by Dusty to contribute to this team.
And it's a 4-pitch walk to start things off, so Escobar on Solis instead.
I imagine they call that an abundance of caution.
Spring, 6 for 17, hitting .353 with a double, a homer, and 2 stolen.
Comfortable at all times.
Takes that ball in the dirt. 1-2. Groin surgery in November as he sold. Dearden settles underneath it. Now that he's fully healthy and
early and bang plays to start the year, and I think that he decided to kind of.
Lindor takes strike two.
Team's abilities even farther.
As Lindor chases that one out of the zone, 30-33, and swings first pitch, lines that one foul. 0-1.
The left side last year when we got him.
That one gets through the catcher.
Those grinding at bats.
And you wonder with a guy like Vogelback, we saw it very early in.
Is Vogelback that will benefit a lot from it, and the other guy is their
grounded foul.
So as a pitcher.
Fly ball to Jevic, backs up, makes the grab, facing Yainer Diaz to lead things off, and Diaz swings through that Astros roster. The backup catcher job as he swings through another one. 0-2
to make that opening day.
3 strikes. He's out. The differences between the two leagues in America and in Japan.
Well, I mean, for instance, the best version of that is Yu Darvish. He's still side sessions before your next start. But let's see from that one. And so you really want to harness in on.
Keep him healthy as well, because he's got a very specific. Justin Dearden, the batter, he takes
proper.
Bobbled in the outfield, and Dearden into second base was Don Kessinger, 2-time Gold Glove winning Cubs. Puts a smile on his face. Hey, Wayne.
Oh, a little high to Wayne.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at me, Wayne. That's a really good 2-0. The back foot that bounce it.
Another fastball, 90. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So after giving up the Mets record last season with 28 hit by pitches, including 14 over the final 36.
For me personally,
skies that one, goes Dearden in front of the track and makes the catch. Part of my game where I actually trained myself to get hit by pitches, I claims.
Well, I think it's true. You teach your body muscle memory type stuff, and so he stood in there, hit fungos at you as hard as they can on a one hop, and you learn to put your body in front of it, and you
approach that at bat.
It makes you be a little bit finer about what you're doing on where you're.
Senga getting his 3rd inning of work, and guys that one foul.
Guy, you understand he's not going to get out of the way, so try not to hit him. Or if you do, make sure your league name.
Sure is. Dixon Machado. You think the same thing.
That's probably true. Do you play basketball? Yeah, I eat between 7,000 and 7,500 calories a day.
Gosh.
And often with peanut butter and jelly in my hands.
Pop, if I've ever seen one. Darren Ruff Senga throws over, and I think now, do we do every time we get a throw over? Is loops that one into right field, falls in front of Marte. That, but not for a monster 500-foot home run. You say, well, that was a good piece of hitting.
Got it. And you got to tip your cap. You can't give him all the credit. If he hits a 500-foot
terminology that I use.
Well, you're a classic baseball man.
Ball left side. Escobar gets the out at second, on to first.
If there is one thing, because I did go in right before I came out here.
Oh, you were watching.
You
okay.
Never start
with the pitch clock now, where you got about 7 seconds to complete the story.
How great is that, right?
Some good advice about how to do this.
Did I? Just be playful. You're not. It's fun, right?
You can't have fun doing this. What can you have
what's
fun
that?
doing?
Let's handicap. Who do you think?
Please don't. and Keith, send me an Instagram of Al Leiter this year. How do you feel? What was that like when you first going to happen?
Amazing. Best years without a doubt. And having an opportunity. I always say this, Jerry, you can appreciate a chance to play for the team you rooted for as a kid. Wow, trifecta. And yeah, it was. It really wearing the royal blue and orange. It's just, yeah, it's special. It really is.
What does it mean, my standpoint, to come back here in camp and be around the guys? Like, what kind of...
Or the right thing to do to get in the... I did hear that one. And if I can give something that I saw or somebody taught me with a rotation of Ron Guidry and Tommy John. It was named after a guy. Yeah, so then you impart all that, Jerry, right? You have your...
So, Al, as Escobar swings through that pitch, strike three, do you think those two are able to do it?
Well, I got a chance to be czar, and they're going to the Hall of Fame. They are so in tune and meticulous about they're really attentive to their process. And it is serious. And I think now when you get guys, and of course I don't know all of it, but I see enough to know that these guys, how do I take
a more deserving group of players? Really just an awesome class.
Am I?
Yep.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Now 3 is Starlin Marte.
It was named after a guy. Yeah, so then you impart all that, Jerry, right? You have your...
So, Al, as Escobar swings through that pitch, strike three, do you think those two are able to do it?
Well, I got a chance to be czar, and they're going to the Hall of Fame. They are so in tune and meticulous about they're really attentive to their process. And it is serious. And I think now when you get guys, and of course I don't know all of it, but I see enough to know that these guys, how do I take
a more deserving group of players? Really just an awesome class.
Am I?
Yep.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Now 3 is Starlin Marte.